Have you ever replayed a game that you loved only to realise that nothing really makes sense anymore? That's Resident Evil 0. It looks great, it plays well, but under the surface it's a mess of unanswered questions. Why does Rebecca never mention any of it again? How did Umbrella lose control so fast? And seriously, what's the deal with the magic elevator? If you've ever finished this game and thought, wait, what? Then you're not alone. So I've got 6 of the biggest mysteries in the game that should have changed the series forever, but didn't. Well, okay, maybe not change it forever, but still, they're quite interesting questions.
Come on, let's go.
Number 1. Why didn't Dooley get out? Kevin Dooley wasn't a STARS member, and so he had no reason to go with the Bravo team, and it makes perfect sense to stay with the helicopter. From here, he could check the damage, see if anything could be salvaged, and attempt to call for help. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't move, he just sits in his seat. Now granted, we don't know how long he sits there before he's eaten alive by a pack of wild dogs, but Bravo team are not in any urgent danger. It's not like the Alpha team. And we can see the team get out and they survey the immediate area, and yet he doesn't move. You could argue that maybe he's injured, but then Rebecca's the team medic. And if that was the case, why wouldn't she try and help him before she left? Make him comfortable. And she just gets up, gets out and gives him the thumbs up. And the next time we see him, he's been served up as an all-you-can-eat buffet for a special pack of zombie dogs.
Save for the remaining body of Kevin.
How did Umbrella lose control of such a vital facility so easily? I've got real issues with Zero's narrative, so much so that I headcanon a lot of the Leech Monster so-called plan out of existence. During one of its monologues, it claims to be the one that releases the virus in both the mansion and the training facility, which is just nonsense.
It was I who scattered the T-virus in the mansion. Needless to say, I contaminated the train too.
What?
Revenge on Umbrella.
One of the most interesting parts of the original Resident Evil is reading the notes and the diaries of the staff and the researchers. They all lived and worked in the mansion. Itchy Tasty being a prime example, detailing the accident and aftermath of the T-virus outbreak. Yet with Zero, there's none of this. You'd think a billion-dollar bioweapons company would have better safeguards in place, but one leech-loving scientist throws a bit of a tantrum and suddenly the whole site goes down. No backup, no lockdown, no response team, just instant chaos. It's almost like Umbrella wanted it to fail. Why does Rebecca, a rookie medic, on her first mission get sent alone into a crisis zone, with a known killer on the loose, whilst the rest of Bravo team fans out? Okay, fair enough, that was a bit of a long question, apologies, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. Bravo team knows there's been a massacre. It's what they've been sent in to investigate, and yet they send their least experienced member off solo. No backup, no partner, no plan. It's less special tactics and rescue and more, just hope for the best. This could have been a great opportunity to have Richard as the second player instead of Billy, keeping the Bravo team as a squad and then giving him a bittersweet send-off from Resident Evil. They really dropped the ball when it came to telling Bravo team's story. For why does Rebecca never try to radio the rest of the team once she leaves the train? She's got a functioning radio. We saw her use it on the train.
Enrico! Hello? Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up.
She knows that the area is dangerous. She's travelled miles from the crashed helicopter site and her team is scattered. But not once does she check in. Isn't it weird for someone who's trained in emergencies not just to go a quick, hey, I'm alive, the train's moved, I'm in some crazy death lab full of killer monkeys? You would have thought that would be in basic training. Yet Resident Evil 1 handles this so much better. You get a radio from Richard, yet you're told it's broken and therefore can only receive incoming transmissions.
Brad, if you can hear me, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad, can you hear me? Shit, it's broken.
Again, if they had thought this through, having Richard as your teammate instead of Billy, it could have been Rebecca who gave Richard the radio, which in turn gives the radio to Jill and Chris, saving their life. Why doesn't the zombie animals ever attack each other? In Resident Evil 0, you've got zombie dogs, infected bats, even a virus-mutated monkeys. I hate monkeys. all roaming around the same areas. They're aggressive, they're relentless and clearly infected, but somehow they never seem to turn on each other. No growling, no infighting, no turf wars, they just chase you across the map without any hesitation. But if another undead animal walks by, nothing. Not interested. Total harmony. Raises the question, does the virus create some kind of hive instinct in the animals, or is there a scent that they recognise? Or is it just one of those gameplay choices that kind of falls apart under logic? Because if the T-virus is supposed to make creatures hyper-aggressive and mindless, it's weirdly selective about who they mindless at. The infected humans might groan and lunge at everything, but animals seem to have rules, and if these creatures are supposed to be operating on pure instinct, it's a bit strange that eat the closest thing doesn't apply to the infected baboon right next to them. Why doesn't Rebecca start with first aid? She's the medic. That's literally her role on the team. Her entire reason for being on this mission, her one job, is to provide medical support for dangerous situations. Yet when the game begins, Rebecca has 0 first aid items. Not even a herb tucked in her belt. No spray, no bandages, nothing. Just a pistol and hope. It's especially strange considering Bravo teams responding to a violent incident and multiple fatalities. You'd expect the medic to be the one carrying the most supplies. Even a few basic items would make sense, like a field kit or serum or something. Instead, you've got to find your healing items scattered around like some scavenger hunt. It makes her look woefully unprepared for someone who's trained in crisis situations. Was Umbrella too cheap to issue medkits? Did Enrico forget to pack the first aid bag? Or are we just supposed to believe that Rebecca grabbed her first aid pack that she's got strapped to her back and didn't even think to look inside? Rebecca walks into a nightmare with no medical supplies, no backup, and no clue what's coming. And honestly, that's not just her problem, it's the game's. Because Resident Evil 0 had everything it needed to reshape the franchise, and somehow it still fell flat. So the real question is, how does the game this important end up forgotten? Well, is it forgotten, and should you give it another chance? Well, to answer that, you'll need to watch the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you survivors next time.